Hey there, it's Scott with InsideTheCurve.com, back with another Fusion 360 for woodworking tutorial. Today we're going to be going over fully defining our sketches and talk a little bit about constraints. I'm not going to dive too deep in constraints because I'd like to go over that a little more tomorrow's video, but we're going to use the constraint features a little bit today. So I'm going to start out with a new sketch like we had before. On the top plane, I'm going to create a basic rectangle. So R for rectangle, 2-point rectangle. Okay, so here I've discussed this a little bit in previous videos, but very briefly. You can see that this line here is blue. That's indicating that this length here has not been defined. So defined is just kind of a term that, that basically means that it is an open space and there's no dimensions added to it. There's no constraints, so we can move this anywhere we want to in space, any way we want to. So that what that problem that creates is, say if we extrude this out into a pole for a leg or something like that on a table. Well, if we were in there creating something and we happen to grab a hold of that, well, we just changed everything. So it's not defined of where it's at in the plane. So how do we do that? Well, we talked a little bit about this dimension tool. So all we have to do is hit D. Get back on our sketch here. Right click on in the timeline, edit sketch. So D for dimension. And we'll just put 3.25, so 3 1/4. And we can see that now our sketch has been defined at 3 1/4 this way. But we still have that blue line vertically, or it's running horizontal, but it's vertical from the origin, that we need to get that defined. So it'd be the same way. D for dimension, select that point up to this point, and we'll make this 3.5. And now we have our sketch fully defined, our rectangle. So it's the same way with circles. We'll draw a basic circle. 3/8, 0.375. Okay. And D for dimension. Select our center. So we want to make it 1/2 inch. So we're defined that way, but see, we're still have our circle still blue because we've only declared a dimension this way, but we still need to add dimension this way. So same thing, D for dimension. Select this edge. Half inch. So now you can see we're half inch away from the corner here. So now our circle has been fully defined. Now I want to dive into a little bit on our constraints. Let's say I wanted to put another circle up here. So let's hit C for circle. Let's make it yay big. You can see that's way bigger. I could have typed the dimensions in. But over here we have something that's called the sketch palette. We haven't really talked about this much, but they're very useful features here in this constraints thing. And I want to show you one of them right now, which is the equal one. What that gives us the ability to do is to be able to select the circle here, hit equal, and now we have another 3/8 circle created. And the other great thing, we have another one called over here called the horizontal vertical. So let's select this circle here, or this circle. So let's select the center point on this circle here, hit our horizontal vertical tool here in the sketch palette under constraints, and we'll select the center point on the circle. Now keep around the top circle. You can see it scooted over. So now we're perfectly in line with this one. And now what we can do is just put one dimension from here to here at 0.5, and now we see it's fully defined by turning black like that. Another way we could have done it is drawing a construction line. We'll be using construction lines further on down the road, but I basically just want to show you what fully defined means and a few of the basic constraints. We'll get into more of the collinear and coincident and concentric constraints tomorrow, and that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed this Fusion 360 for woodworking series so far. Be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to keep the videos going. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.